Hi there. Thanks for joining us as we take you through another informative weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Inside these pages, our Heritage Week celebration continues in music and dance. Plus, we'll share some information on one of our national emblems that's sure to make you go,
Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. Mosquitoes will breed in any container that holds water.
Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, barrels, buckets and tanks. If this cannot be done, pour cooking oil on the water surface. Punch holes in all tins, plastics and beverage boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover all tires or fill with dirt to prevent water collection. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs. Use mosquito repellents to protect yourself from mosquito bites. Dispose of garbage properly by placing in plastic bags and securing properly to prevent water collection.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Thanks again for being here. As promised, we reflect on the impact and reach of one of our greatest cultural exports.
From deep within the archives, on reels no longer supported by the platforms of a technological modernization in the transmission of sounds and images, comes the story of a people and their relationship with the music they have bred.
Reggae! Reggae music is bass, brother. Yes, sir. Reggae music is roots. Not the drill. Yes, sir. Is our kind of music that, brother? What me say?
If reggae can ever be edged to a set place, then 13 Brentford Road is its home. It was here at Studio One in 1968 that Rocksteady briefly went back 20 years, married the folk rhythms of Mento, and gave birth to reggae.
The new art form experienced its share of birthing pains as the so-called elites of society struggled to accept its revolutionary presence, while those from whose experiences it sprung cleaved onto this evolution in expression.
Reggae music is something that I think most of our people are ashamed of. I don't know why this should be, because it is coming from our roots. So much people are naked like them shame.
I agree.
Truly.
Sure, them just shame what truly belongs to them. What me say?
That's what we steal sometimes, do I?
Truly.
Well, I think that the rhythm is very good, and we like it a lot in Jamaica here.
As myself coming from New York, I only thought that I would dig soul music, just, funky music. But as I hear the reggae music, I like it.
I like reggae music very much because, right, it shows a lot of culture, right? It tells from the plantation days, the type of music the people used to sing, right? And it sort of reveal what really was going on in that time, right? Up till now, right?
It's something you can't just sit down and listen to. You have, you get the feeling to move.
Reggae music is our high-style music. Same way like how soul music belongs to CS, reggae music belongs to J. And my favorite artists are Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Probably because it's part of me, and we create it. I don't know, but I think I enjoy playing reggae very much.
I really dig reggae music, but whenever time I hear reggae music, I feel like dancing,
I'm in a dancing mood.
Generations later, and the narrative retains echoes of past sentiments with the addition of new layers.
Reggae change, I can say like it changed a bit, but still reggae beat. The old one is better, the new one not much to me. I just love the old stuff.
When I'm working, I listen to my music, keep me going,
If me go dance on them music that I'm play, me not really stay there.
It means everything. It's a part of Jamaican's history, so it defines who we are as Jamaicans.
It means everything. It means love, it means peace, it means understanding.
Reggae is a lifestyle. Reggae is a lifestyle, Jamaican lifestyle. Yeah, even the lifestyle where you live, because even they tell you in the farm, they work hard every day, hustle hard every day, and music says reggae. So, reggae is life, man,
Reggae has become what some prophesied, a few decried, and almost none could truly imagine.
Reggae is no longer seen in the world as alternative music or third world music or new wave music.
It's doing good. I think a lot of guys who make a lot of money from it, but it is good. I think it may be probably next to tourism.
People know Jamaica not only for our sand, sun and beach, but they know us for our music. So when you go abroad and people be like, you're from Jamaica, you know Bob Marley, you know such and such, all because of our music. So reggae is our definition of Jamaica.
It is the strongest component in the brand Jamaica construct.
Reggae artists and those who specialize in its offshoot dancehall have won major musical awards. In life and past death, its greatest ambassador retains an undeniable international presence that has demanded respect from world-renowned publications. Since 2009, the entire month of February has been dedicated to its celebration at home. It was instrumental in garnering capital Kingston the designation by UNESCO as a creative city of music. And in 2017, the Jamaican government submitted a nomination dossier to have reggae inscribed on UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage for humanity.
This international protection instrument will ensure that the origins of reggae and its derivatives are appropriately documented and safeguarded for present and future generations. It is fascinating to reminisce on the early days when Jamaican music struggled to germinate, and the pioneers were classified in some cases as undesirables right here at home.
But even then, in its infancy,
well, I think that reggae is a good music, here to stay, and I think reggae music belongs to us and we ought to show it, right?
And now,
reggae is hot commodity and the world has embraced it, but we are proud to declare that we still own it.
Respect must be given whenever respect is due. One more time, let's give it up for Jamaica and reggae music.
We truly have a lot to celebrate, and we continue to reflect and honor our heritage all month long with a special emphasis this Heritage Week. Let's put on our dancing shoes as we explore Jamaica's indigenous dance forms.
Similar to the country's motto, out of many one people, Jamaica's indigenous dance movement is a rich mix of African, European, Spanish, and several other ethnic influences. A shoulder movement from the British, hip roll from the Africans, and so on.
all gyrations and synchronized rhythmic stepping, locals have merged to birth new dance styles.
Indigenous means that it was created here. It's native to the space. I call some things indigenous formalized. They're indigenous, and all these indigenous things, like, for example, gere, they say it's a creolized form. Now, when you say creolized form, that means some of it was shaped here, so then it becomes indigenous. So there are quite a few others.
Brookings reveals a unique mixture of African and European influences. The Brookings Party is a stately, dipping, gliding dance typified by the thrust and recovery action of the hip and leg.
So, for example, Brookings, you cannot go back to Africa and find Brookings. Remember, Brookings was a celebration for the abolition of slavery in this country called Jamaica. And there's a long story behind that. So that position happens in Brookings. All right, get up. But she not do it all the way. When them do it, it's all down on the ground and the back and back.
This band of masqueraders scare a few, especially children. Some persons are definitely not in favor of one of the characters, the devil. John Kunu goes as far back as slavery, but at that time, the bands were very large and elaborate. The musicians would play tunes of well-known traditional songs on the fife, accompanied by bass and rattling drums, shakas and graters. Their primary dance movement is to prance, behaving wildly as they try to evoke fun or mockery.
Ska at the original sound. Ska at the foundation sound. Ska music is a great, great sound. Jamaica's first international.
What you see down across is arms that come out of Jankuno, come out of our ancient forms as well. And so you see those arms in Ska. Those same arms. What it come from? It have to come, it never drop from sky. It come from our ancestral memories, our heritage, and it bleed beautifully into modern day times, into what we call popular dance.
Dancehall in the 1960s, a popular dance then was the ska. Oh yes, skanking was the movement partygoers would do to the rhythm of the similar name, ska punk or hardcore punk.
Jamaica's first international.
When people say they're dancing bingy, also indigenous. Any movement that you see people do in Rastafari, because Rastafari, and it's not only dance.
That's right. Rastafarianism is a religion and it has its own dance.
Although African Kumina has been here for so long, it is a tradition in the space. Kumina was not created here. It is Kikongo. In the language they speak, free Africans and enslaved Africans, the more they came, brought that tradition, that religious tradition, to the space. But over time, because that is from 18-something, it becomes traditional to the space because it's constantly here. Dancehall is indigenous. Everything in dancehall is indigenous. And so everybody should be saying, anybody who dancehall should mention Jamaica. Because Jamaica is who created that cultural space that has in it dance. Dancehall goes right back to Africa. And if you go online now and you look at Africans doing dancehall, there's a slightly different flavor to it. But there's a use of bottom, there's a use of, the use is similar. So some things, are what Kamau Brathwaite, the writer from Barbados, says tide electric, in that the tides of the ocean bring it come, and sometimes the tides of the ocean carry it back. So if you look at dancehall, you know, the ocean bring all of this African, and then sometimes you see it carry back, and dancehall is in Africa now as African dancehall. In dance, it's a forward movement when we decide to be Caribbean-centric. So now we're not necessarily Afrocentric or Eurocentric. We have now created a space of our voice. We are Caribbean-centric in the movements that we create, from the time of ska that you mentioned, all the way up now to dancehall.
It's time again for the JIS Heritage Essay Competition. Are you a primary school student? Write a 400 to 500 word essay responding to the question, should Jamaica remain under the British monarchy or become a full republic? And win lots of prizes. Visit jis.gov.jm for competition guidelines. Registration opens October 1 and closes October 31. The JIS Heritage Essay Competition 2023. Enter today.
It's the only ensign in the world that doesn't share the colors red, white, or blue. It's a symbol of our sovereignty and conjures a feeling of pride and joy, particularly at special events. Now, you must have figured I'm speaking of the Jamaican flag. Learn more next.
I've traveled all over the world and I've seen the Jamaican flag in so many different countries, and it gives me a sense of pride.
Representing my country and seeing the flag means everything to me. It's an honor playing for the national team.
I've migrated for 19 years and have been living in the US, but there is no greater joy knowing how it has the power to connect us and bring us in the diaspora together.
For me, the Jamaican flag is a language, and it includes me in the conversations.
When the Olympics starts and I see the flag waving, it means a lot to us.
Sunday, August 5, 1962, 2 minutes to midnight. The new flag was about to be hoisted over the National Stadium. The lights were replaced by darkness, as if to expunge the horrid memories of the last 300 years. The red, blue, and white Union Jack did its last wave, and then it was lowered, gently tugged down the flagpole by a representative from the Jamaican militia. It had flown its course a long 307 years, and the replacement was the black, green, and gold, our very own Jamaican flag.
The Jamaican flag was approved by government the 6th of August 1962. It is important to know that a flag is a symbol which identifies a country. It started on a very sad note. In times of war, people need to identify with a symbol. So where you are standing, you would know that's my side. So the enemy could take away the flag, and then you would be ambushed and then get hurt. But on a joyful and peaceful note, our flag was established in '62 for our symbols. There was a very active competition, and there were many persons who would want to associate with the design, and so an approval was given. Looking at the flag is diagonal in gold, and there are 4 triangles. The top and the bottom green, and the others black.
The gold, represents sunshine and happiness. Or people, no matter if we're going through hardship, we're always smiling.
And the green is for our hope and agricultural resources.
And the black then in 62 means hardships there are. And that was changed by government in 1997 with a committee presided over by Professor the Honorable Rex Nettleford. So it was changed to mean the creativity of the people. The flag has its protocol. It's never to be put on the ground, and it is placed to the right when you're on the platform. Of course, with athletics international competition, you'll notice people are wrapping the flags all over them. Years ago, that was unheard of because it's a solemn signal. When the national anthem is played or sung, you look in the direction of the flag. We are proud of our flag, and wherever we see it, there are some of us who still bow as respect to our dear country.
When I'm overseas and I see the flag, I feel proud because, you know, not every country is at a big tournament. Not everyone will have their flag flying high.
Our flag is so special because it unites our people wherever in the world we are.
When I look down on the flag, it makes me feel proud as a Jamaican to know that I've been able to serve my country.
So yes, the Jamaican flag gives me a voice. We also have deaf athletes going to represent Jamaica in other countries. And when other countries see our flag, you know, they feel proud, and we feel proud as Jamaicans.
The Jamaican flag represents pride to me. The other day someone said we should have a Caribbean flag, and we said we already have one, it's the Jamaican flag.
Jamaican flags, it represents me, it represents you, it represents every Jamaican.
We're no longer subjects of colonialism, directed by the orders of the British, but free citizens of our very own country. O green isle of the Indies, Jamaica, strong and free, our vows and loyal promises, O heartland, 'tis to thee.
We're about to make our final stop on today's half-hour journey inside the pages of Jamaica Magazine. But before we go, we take you to a place in Spanish Town that's steeped in history.
It was our own national hero, the Right Excellent Sam Sharp, an enslaved man and a freedom fighter who said, "I would rather die upon yonder gallows than live in slavery." That sentiment was also shared by many other slaves. But the fight for freedom and the hope for victory brought liberation to many. Right here in Jamaica, the movement to end slavery was very active, and landmarks across the island document this part of our history.
We are on the Emancipation Trail, and we're looking at the symbolic parts of Jamaica which relate to emancipation, a very important change of status in our country. We're here in the Filippo Baptist Church compound in Spanish Town. Spanish Town is a very old city, founded in 1539, I believe, and this particular site was where the Baptists created a congregation in 1818. And this church, built by the Baptists at the time of Reverend Filippo, was part of the congregation that was very supportive of the move to emancipate all enslavement. And that is a magnificent building going back probably close to 200 years. This church is very historic. Right here under this tamarind tree and identified by this plaque is the slave chains which were buried on August the 1st, 1838. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Deacon Ivan O'Connor, a member of this congregation, who is going to tell us some more about this very historic site and its relationship to emancipation.
I understand that part of the Declaration of Emancipation was read from the steps of this church. And a deep hole was dug right here, and all the chains that were available were put in there and covered. And a tamarind tree was put there as a monument. I understand that the first tamarind tree was destroyed by the 51 hurricane, but it was replaced. And it stands here now as a monument where people can come and get tamarind and remember the slavery chains.
And touch the monument as part of our experience.
Right, it is here
of
as a
what
reminder.
emancipation was all about.
Right.
But I also think we have to remind ourselves that the original official declaration was read from the steps of King's House,
That's
the facade which is still in front of the square.
That square is Emancipation Square, which is also in Spanish Town and just a few meters away from the Philippa Baptist Church. Here was once the town center. Other important buildings in the square include the old House of Assembly, Rodney's Memorial, and the old courthouse. The area was severely damaged by fire as well as the 1692 earthquake, but parts of the buildings have since been restored and put to use. Back over at the Philippa Baptist Church,
we want to reaffirm how important the Baptist movement and denomination was to emancipation. They were major players in persuading the English government to declare free at last, emancipation on the 1st of August, 1838.
and it is believed that the chains of slaves were buried at the Philippa Baptist Church due to its close proximity to Emancipation Square and the unrelenting movement by the Baptist Church to put an end to slavery.
Somebody said some time ago, how can we write the history of Jamaica without including the Baptists? The Baptists were one of the churches that were very integral to the teaching of the slaves and emancipation. James Philippo was one of the persons who was integral in getting emancipation for the slaves in Jamaica.
While emancipation was declared for slaves, their conditions were not improved. So the movement for a more just society was challenged by Paul Bogle and George William Gordon. They were also part of the Baptist movement and later became two of our national heroes. As a result of this involvement, Baptist work in Jamaica became an enduring symbol of the church's opposition to slavery and all other forms of injustice.
This building was put up sometime about 1827 thereabout, and has been maintained over time. It's a natural heritage site, and so the National Heritage Trust has control over what happens here. Right after emancipation, James Philippo established free villages like in Sligoville, in parts of Clarendon, and also established churches. So this church is steeped in our history in Jamaica.
This is where we leave you on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Join us on this station tomorrow when we bring you our special Heroes Day celebration. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.